All right, so last time we programmed this program here, we created a string type array. We named it wrap stars, and we assigned to it 5 different elements. And the purpose of our next step now is to create a program that allows us to have people vote for their favorite wrap star on this console program, and the votes will be kept in an array that we'll be able to update through user input. So one thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to import the util.scanner. So that's a class in the util package from the Java library that will allow us to put some user input in. You don't really need to understand this because the purpose of this is really to get an array to work and to understand how those work. So if you kind of follow along with me here, you'll be just fine. So now I'm going to, above string wrap stars, it doesn't really matter, but just for sakes of argument, above that, but under the main method, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a scanner. So I declare a scanner object user input, and I make it a new scanner. I assign that value. I am then going to leave a message for the user so that they'll need to type in a whole number. How about type in a number to vote for your favorite wrapper. All right, and then I guess what I'll do is I'll probably do another system.out.println just to sort of, well, a couple actually, just to sort of give them some options. So first one would be Tupac. So 1 for Tupac, and 2 for Dre. We'll do 3 for Kendrick. And just to save you some time watching me type, you can see that I finished off that thought process right there. So now we've got a scanner that opens up, and we've got some information for the user to take a look at. And then what we'll need to do is get user input. In order to do that, we go ahead and we make the inputs. I'm declaring a new variable here. It's an integer. Input equals user input dot next int. So basically what that does is it takes the number that the user uses. As a matter of fact, if we run it right now, it's not going to be fully operational, but just to kind of show you what you're getting so far. Type in a number to vote for your favorite wrapper. All right, and we've got this one long line here, and then it will allow us to type in a number and then print it out. So we didn't print out the actual wrapper we wanted to, and we'll deal with that in a second. But you can see that we can then enter number. It hung on this line before it printed out the mandated list for Tupac. So again, we'll run that, and you'll see it's just hanging here. It's waiting for some sort of input. So if I type in, doesn't matter what number I type in, it'll still say Tupac because it hangs right here and waits for it, and then it prints out this line, which is Tupac. So what we'll do to fix the issue of the one line is we'll put LNs at the end of each one of these, and that'll force it to go on its own line. Should have done that in the first place. All right, so that's a little bit more visual or visible. Again, doesn't matter what number I type in, it'll still wait for that. Okay, so we'll fix that now. And the easiest way to fix that is coming down to here. And what we'll say is I want to print out wrap stars and then whatever the user inputs. Now, I want you to pay attention to this because I keep talking about the difference between elements, which is how many things are in this collection, in this array, and indexes, which is the address or the number of that element. So I'm just going to simply put in the user that somebody's putting in, and that's the number that the user's put in, which is input. So you can see it's highlighted. So whatever number the person's going to put in, it will print out which wrap artist. So now if I run this, okay, if I put in 1, that means it'll print out the first, or the index 1, okay, which is actually the second element. So watch, even though I think I'm voting for Tupac, or the user might think it, what they're really going to get, hit enter, is Dre. So because this is 0 and this is 1. So I'll run that again just to show you. If I really want Tupac, what I'll have to do is I'll have to ask for the 0 index and hit enter. Now it'll show Tupac. So in order to fix that, now I could ask the user to put in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's kind of odd. Nobody really asks for that. So what I'll do is I'll fix my logic right here by saying input -1. Now check this out. If I run this and I say I want 1, what I will get is Tupac, because 1 is the index here, but I did -1 in here, so the user never saw that. So 1 minus 1 is 0, so I print out Tupac. All right, so that's getting around that a little bit. What we'll do in the next video is we'll actually start making these votes count for something.